Hey there guys, I hope you're having a fantastic day. This is Rob, welcome back to the channel where my Metroid Prime 4 Beyond coverage continues. So as of today, it's been 3 weeks since Metroid Prime 4 Beyond was revealed epically at the end of the most recent Nintendo Direct. And in that time, I've made many videos, many conversations, a 45-minute Q&A, and I've spent all of this time in these videos really discussing more theories and predictions, and just trying to pick apart what information we can glean from the very short teaser trailer and the very short snippet of gameplay we saw. It has been a ton of fun. This is what I live for. This is what I've been waiting 7 years to be able to do with you guys. However, what I want to do now is sidestep a little bit and talk a little bit more about some of the practical sides of the information that we got from the reveal of this game, namely the release year of 2025. So of course, as we all know, we did spend the last 7 years just wondering, when are they going to show us Metroid Prime 4? Now, we have finally crossed that impossible bridge, and we're in the scenario we never dreamed possible, where we have seen Metroid Prime 4. We are on the other side of understanding this game being a real game. So now, we start to ask, when are we going to play this game? When will it actually release? As we all know, at the end of the trailer, it did show that 2025 is the release year, according to that trailer. Now, there's a couple of things to consider here, namely the fact that we know the Switch 2 is coming sometime almost definitely next year in 2025, the same year they're telling us to expect Metroid Prime 4, but also we have to listen to how Shinya Takahashi, and namely the fellow who's actually translating and interpreting with English language over his voice, how they phrase the release year of 2025.
After a very long time, we are finally able to share more information about this title. Release is planned for 2025, so please wait a little bit longer.
So there we have it. What he says is release is planned for 2025. Please wait a little bit longer. Now, as we know, it is very common for Nintendo to do this with some of their more tease reveals of games, or when they're really showing us something potentially very early on, before they're ready to give us final details, before they might even know when a game is going to release, where they will show us something or discuss or confirm something, or even just brush over it and say, please wait for more info in the future. That is exactly what they do here. Please wait a little bit longer. But obviously, more important than that, what I think we all really take away is how he says, and again, they say with the translator and whatnot, how they say that currently the release is planned for 2025. So, when we think about how long this game took to develop, we think about the fact that they restarted it 2 years into development in 2019 by handing it over to Retro Studios. We think about the looming Switch 2 or next generation successor that they have confirmed to us they will show us sometime before March next year, which means in theory that will release next year. We think about all the development turmoil this game has gone through, even though it is clearly shaping up to be a masterpiece in everything we've wanted. So Retro's development is on point, and we think about the fact that they gave us just a year. They said it's planned for that year. They didn't give us a date. They didn't give us a lot of gameplay. It was a very strange trailer, even though it was magnificent, of course. This is out of the norm for what Nintendo normally does. I've referenced this many times, and I'll reference it again. Metroid Dread is the perfect template that shows how Nintendo normally does things, and it's how they did their last brand new Metroid game, where they revealed it with a ton of info, a ton of gameplay, and an exact release date. And that exact release date was only a few months after it was revealed. With the random exception, I would say 80 to 90% of Nintendo's game reveals happen that exact way, where they're pretty much prepared to give us almost an exact release date after they reveal a game, and it is usually pretty close to that reveal. So, the main question I think we all have now is, will this game actually release in 2025? Do we have enough reason to doubt that release year? Did we take away enough from the short teaser, the Switch 2 coming, the way he phrased the end of that Nintendo Direct and that trailer reveal, to think that maybe they're hoping it's 2025, but maybe there is a chance it could slip into 2026. And obviously at that point would be a Switch 2 title, absolutely. Even though we expect it to be a Switch 2 title and a Switch title right now, I think that if it's 2026, there's no doubt it would be cross-gen. So here's the thing. This is my takeaway and my read on the situation, and I'm hoping that I can fill you guys with a whole lot of optimism, because personally, the way I'm reading things now, only a guess, only a prediction. I'm just a fan talking about Metroid based off of what I believe. This is not a leak or a rumor. I haven't heard anything. I'm not trying to spread rumors. I never do that, you guys know. Personally, my read of the situation is that they just weren't ready to give us more information, because I believe this game will be a cross-generational Switch 2 next-gen game. It's definitely coming on the Switch, but it's also going to come to the Switch 2, I personally believe. And because I believe that, and we know the Switch 2 is going to be confirmed and revealed by Nintendo sometime over the course of the next 8 or so months, I definitely think that Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is going to be part of the general marketing and release cycle around the next-gen console. So I think they want to wait for the next big reveal, the next big info dump, the next big trailer, and an exact release date until after we've already seen the Switch 2. After Nintendo has told us what it is, shown it to us, explained the physical media, if it's backwards compatible, if games are going to have upgrade patches, and maybe even the same time they reveal the Switch 2, they will also talk about Metroid Prime 4. Now that we've already actually seen it, they've lifted the veil off of this game, and that might even be the exact time that they tell us the exact release date of Metroid Prime 4, because they can say, this game is coming to both the Switch and the Switch 2, and it's coming on this date, and they can show us a longer trailer featuring Switch 2 footage. I think that is part of the reason the footage we saw from this first trailer was pretty short. It's like 60 seconds worth of actual gameplay, and as beautiful as it was very strange and awkward, just kind of jumping around as she's moving through this location. We got a ton of stuff to talk about. Look at the 2 hours worth of theory videos I've basically posted already. There's enough to give me a lot to talk about for sure, but it wasn't really a whole lot of gameplay, and it was a very strange sort of editing style that they used for this gameplay. And so what if that's because they only wanted to give us a taste of the Switch version, because once they reveal the Switch 2, and once they would, in theory, tell us that a Switch 2 version of Metroid Prime 4 is coming, that's when I think they want to focus all of the footage of Metroid Prime 4 and the future gameplay almost entirely on that better looking next generation Switch 2 version. Just a theory, just my interpretation, but it is a really strong theory that I have. Now, of course, we would be foolish to let our guards down and believe totally in this idea, because knowing Nintendo, knowing the game development and history of Metroid Prime 4, knowing the importance of this game to the series and to the fans, I definitely think that Nintendo would be willing to delay this game into 2026 if need be. I've been saying this for years. When no one wanted to hear anything positive about their decision to reboot it, I have been saying all that the reboot showed me is that Nintendo was hell-bent on making this the best version of Metroid Prime 4 it could possibly be. However much money and development time they sank into that first version, they were willing to scrap, write it off, say that was wasted time, wasted effort, wasted manpower, and wasted money, but it's okay because we're going to give this project back to the home it deserves in Retro Studios and say, hey, you guys, you take this is your baby. Tanabe, finish your vision and take the time you need to make it the best possible. If Nintendo was willing to do that and also address us, the fans, in like a 2-minute video explaining to us what they did, I saw, and again, I'm just repeating what I've said for years when no one else wanted to hear this, I saw a company committed to the best version of this game possible. And so I think, by the way, a good thing. I commend them for it. I applaud them for it. It was very hard and sad as a diehard fan to wait through the 7 years of darkness and mystery around this game, absolutely. But more important than that, my fanship said, I just want it to be the best game possible. And all I'm seeing is Nintendo committing to making it that. So I'm fine waiting until it's ready because I know it's going to be the right game. And that's what we've seen in the 2-minute teaser we have. And so if they feel that releasing it in 2025 for the Switch or the Switch 2 or both or whatever they're going to do, if they feel delaying it past 2025 will make it a better game and make it the better decision for the franchise's health and future, then I am okay with it. Again, I will be heartbroken. I will be crushed. As a fan who enjoys video games for entertainment as a hobby, yes, it'll be hard to wait longer. But as a Metroid fan who wants it to be the best possible, who wants the best possible success and outcome for my favorite franchise, it is more important for the game to get delayed and be better than it is to release early and be maybe not so good. But again, these are just my thoughts and opinions. I'm my own man. I'm my own Metroid fan. You're your own person. You're 99% your own adult. I don't think any kids really watch my channel. I don't know why they would. But whoever you are, you're your own person. I'm my own person. If you feel differently than I do about this, that's fine, and obviously you can discuss and share your thoughts. I hear about these things on Twitter and in the comments of my videos, so definitely discuss that. But this is just my opinion and what I would be willing to do. And also, to end on that optimistic note one more time here, I just want to remind you that I ultimately feel that the game will still release next year. I think Nintendo does know what they were doing, and given the history and the reboot and the silence around this game, I think that if they weren't actually ready to commit to the year 2025 that they plastered at the end of that teaser, I don't think they would have revealed the game when they did. I have to believe they only felt comfortable finally revealing it after the disastrous first attempt was because they knew this game was closing in on its time, which feeds me back into my theory about this, which is that I think they're just waiting to show us more until after the Switch 2 is announced. They just knew it was time they just needed to unburden themselves, probably. Let's be honest. I bet Nintendo, Takahashi, and especially Tanabe and the development team at Retro, all of these amazing people making this game, they probably couldn't wait to frickin' get this thing off their chest and just show the world, here's the damn game. Shut up about it. Look, it exists. Here's this incredible 90 seconds of footage. Go gaga, and we'll see you in a couple months when we're ready to show you more. So I think across the board, they're confident in this game, how it's turning out, the platforms it'll release on, and the 2025 release year. They just needed to show us something, and they needed to deliver on the promise of this releasing on the Switch, which is what they told us it was going to be back in 2017 when it revealed. I still think Switch 2 version is coming, and I can't wait to see it. But at the end of the day, all of this mishmash of my thoughts are what I feel, and why I think, even though there's a chance this game slips, I'm still sticking to believing it's coming out next year.